Well, good afternoon, everybody. Nyia Harris here for Open Book with Nyia Harris. And if things look a little bit different, that's because they are. I am in a new studio space. I'm officially a podcaster. I guess you can say that. I'm here with my guest, Gerard Beaubrun.
It's well done.
Is that right?
85% close.
85. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Close, yes. It's lovely being here, Nyia.
I'm so delighted that you were able to make it, and we planned this a while ago, so I'm really glad that you could be here.
It finally came to fruition.
I know. So thank you. Well, I want to share a little bit about you. I was telling you about this, about how AI creates like this profile on people, right? I think I might end up doing this for everybody, by the way. So AI says this about you.
Mm-hmm.
He specializes in architecting intelligent systems and digital transformation frameworks. Is that good?
Not only is it good, I'm liking the sound of it.
You like the sound of it? You're like, I'm going to steal that. Look, you are active in Minneapolis, St. Paul, frequently sharing insights from local cultural events, performing arts, and live music.
Indeed.
Okay. And you hold an educational background from North Dakota State University.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what grade are you giving AI here?
What grade would I give it?
Yeah.
I would say a C+.
A C+. Ooh. Okay.
So, for example, a lot of this information, it's out there.
Yeah.
Only need to peruse my Facebook to get a glimpse of this.
Okay.
For an A, it would be great to get something deeper. Like, for example, it mentioned that I'm very involved in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Like, involved in what?
It says cultural events.
Yes, but which cultural event? If it like give a deep dive on which cultural event, whether it's the Bach Society, whether it is when I teach self-defense or any other things, that would have been an A+.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, I mean, speaking of all of that, we're going to get into all that and learn more about you in this first half hour. And then in the second half hour, we'll learn a little bit more about like your business life and being an entrepreneur and all of that. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Let's just get into it. So, sir, how was your weekend?
My weekend was lovely.
Yeah?
First of all, plenty of sleep.
Yeah?
It's not very often that I give myself the luxury of sleep.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? Like
you need sleep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But the best part of my weekend was yesterday, hosting or being an MC at the Bach Society.
Okay.
Classical concert. That was lovely, wonderful.
Yeah.
Great way to cap off what I think is a glorious season.
Sure.
Walks with friends, Yaniv, talking about technology.
Yeah.
Also, some side projects related to Haiti and food safety. Met with a couple of individuals there who give us some amazing advice on how to use AI or what they would love to see.
Okay.
And that actually not only fascinates me, but gives me a lot of hope.
Okay. You had like an action-packed weekend.
These are not my words, but I approve this message.
I was not nearly as busy as you. I worked out and went to the Art of Whirl over this weekend.
What is that?
So it's the largest like art crawl in I think the Midwest or whatnot. It happens once a year. It's like an all weekend thing.
So I missed it.
You missed it. So
I'll have to wait next
year. Yeah, next year. And there's all sorts of vendors and different crafts and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
So our crawl we're back to next year.
Yep. Wait till next year. I'll text you. Hey, it's happening,
please do.
Gerard. Okay, so you said something about teaching self-defense.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. This is your show.
That's a wild story.
Okay,
so
tell me.
In Haiti,
Okay.
I practiced self-defense. I did the style called Shotokan Karate, which is the one where it's very focused on discipline and like that's when like like very strict.
Okay.
And then I learned different styles like Taekwondo, learning like kicks, and you do some judo as well.
Okay.
But what happens? There's a couple of things that happen in between. First of all, you have Batman Begins. I'm a big Batman fan, superhero. But the style in Batman Begins was very fascinating to me because it seemed close to how brawler fight.
Okay.
Not that I have experience in that,
okay,
or that I would share, right?
This is open book.
But I noticed the similarities between verisimilitude of reality.
Yeah.
And then I watched a movie, and I think that the movie's called Nocturnal Animals. It's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
In that movie, there's a particular scene where this individual has his daughter and wife with him driving, and then it's somewhere maybe in Texas, you know, And in the movie, you have individuals driving, like they force him to park. They joke with him, they humiliate him, they grab his wife and daughter, and they say, "You clearly can't defend them. We're gonna grab them, and then you follow us." And I remember seeing this, and the whole time, like seeing how it ended, I had the worst reaction. I had vomited because it was a state of pure, not just defenselessness, but also powerlessness.
Oh my gosh.
And the next day, I put an ad on, not LinkedIn. What is it? Where you sell stuff? List. Craigslist.
Oh, Craigslist. Yeah.
I put an ad to find a self-defense partner, and I found one.
Wow.
And we became great at this style called Defense Lab Kaisi, and this is where teaching women self-defense came about. But it was really this moment in which I noticed as a gentleman, especially if you have this idea that you want to protect those that you love.
For sure.
And this person couldn't do it. Not that he didn't love his wife and daughter. He didn't have the tools to do that. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to gauge. Sometimes even the reflex to give your life for someone else. It's not something that you wake up one day and say, "I'm going to give my life for my wife." It's something that you practice. It's something that you rehearse. So that whole process really makes you understand how self-defense is really the preparation. It's not that I wake up every day thinking, "Okay, this thing that I learned, I'm going to practice it today." And you're walking in the streets, okay, not that. Yeah. But at least it's instinctive. So this is my journey with self-defense.
Okay. So I'm really fascinated about that, and maybe we'll talk more about that like offline too, because like you should to a certain extent know how to defend yourself, right? And I think that that's something that not everybody knows how to do. But I would imagine like confidence goes through the roof when you know how to, like you said, you're not walking through the street like looking for a fight, right? But if the situation arises, you know exactly what you're going to do, right?
Exactly.
So I love that.
It's also,
Final
don't
thing. Apologize.
Just final thing. But it's also proven. I think there's this video on YouTube where you can find someone who interviewed a lot of, sorry for using that word, the rapist and like molesters. Yeah. And they would say there is a certain way to recognize individuals who are mentally prone to be abducted, mentally prone to be abused, just by the way they walk, and also by the way they hold themselves, and how like they can sense that.
Really?
And most of that fear, it's not that this person could be someone who's truly powerful in life, but it's that uncertainty. You know, when you enter a room where you don't know anything, like you have uncertainty there, as opposed to when you know and you can navigate it with some confidence. It's the same thing with walking in the streets and not knowing what to do.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And sometimes that's simple as yelling loud, like, "Ha, this MFer is doing this," and drawing attention around you. But most people don't even know that's an option.
We're talking more about that. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
If you so choose.
Well, no, I do, because I'm thinking like I consider myself a pretty confident person, right? And so, but what you just said makes a ton of sense about uncertainty, like when you know what to expect and when you don't know what to expect, right? When you're walking in an area you're familiar with versus an area you're not familiar with. So I'm just thinking, you know what I'm thinking? I'm like, oh, how did I walk into this building? Like, how did I walk up to the building? You know? So, anyhow. More food for thought.
More to come.
Yeah,
more to come on
absolutely. Food for thought. Okay, you were talking about the Bach Society, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So here's my story with the Bach Society.
Yeah.
The Bach Society plans a lot of events, and we have a lot of series. We have like the ABC, in which we showcase a lot of the Bach, like Johann Sebastian Bach, like his chamber works. But we have other series where we do things that are very out of the box.
Okay.
Hence the Out of the Box series.
Yeah. And
one of their main events was a Baroque tango. It's this melding of two different worlds. The world of Baroque music, which is seen as powdered wig, when people use things like, "You CF me," imagine this. Yeah. And then you see tango, like passionate, accordion, bandoneon, dancing, like touches, like leading, powerful, beautiful. And you think, wow, what do they have in common? And in reality, they have so much in common. It forms how the sound sometimes, you have two different sounds. They would play with each other, almost like fight. And then you have passion. But then passion in early 1900 in Buenos Aires is different than passion in the 1600. Like, think about the joke of, oh, you saw the lady's ankle. Ooh,
yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
In Buenos Aires,
Yeah.
you saw the lady's full leg. Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, now passion's totally different.
Of course.
But it's how we navigate those expressions or those feelings that are universal, timeless, but through different lenses.
Yeah. You are a pianist yourself.
Yes, I
Tell
am.
me a little bit about this. So how long have you been playing the piano, and how often do you play?
I've played the piano since when we called my wonder years in Haiti,
Okay.
practicing there.
Your
In
wonder
fact,
years.
Yeah,
I love
they
it.
were amazing years,
Yeah.
and we can talk a lot about that as well.
Yeah.
And what I love about how I started the piano, it was me, my sister, my brother. Although my sister eventually gravitated towards dance, she became this amazing dancer. My brother became really, I think he was the athlete in the family. Although we all did sports, like he was a major volleyball player, traveled and represented Haiti many times. And me, music was my thing, piano,
Sure.
the practice. And I did win one competition in Haiti, which was amazing. And when I came to the United States, music was part of my focus. And I did a lot of recitals in North Dakota and retirement homes, which is like some of my best memories performing were in retirement homes. And I remember once I'm practicing and 10, 15 minutes, and that was a paid gig, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes in my performance. And you start with the slow songs, maybe Baroque, and then I realize everyone is sleeping. And the lady comes to me and says, Gerard, nothing against you, but this doesn't happen. Would you be okay coming another day? We'll pay you, but they're sleeping, and that's amazing. No one can make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's stop, and you can come back.
Yeah.
Okay, well, best $70 of my life.
Yeah.
At the time.
Sure.
So now, I've switched from one keyboard to another. I'm a software engineer now, like focusing on AI, and I practice when I can in the morning. Ideally, piano is like the ground of a big battle inside of me. When you think about you want to be good at something, and you think about piano, like if I don't have 2 hours of practice, it's not worth it. But now I realize, are you willing to be mediocre in something just to keep the relationship? Because this all or nothing attitude is really stopping us from even growth.
Yeah.
Because if I can't be this,
If I can't be a master at it.
exactly,
right?
for example, look at someone looking at you and say, if I cannot be Nyia, I cannot have a podcast.
Oh my gosh, who's saying that?
Well, I'm sure there are, because
Yeah.
they see the results
Yeah.
of the many hours that you spend working on yourself, working on projection, like being able to establish comfort. And they say, wow, like they think it's easy because you make it look easy.
Oh
and
my
they
gosh.
try it,
Yeah.
and they realize, wow, there's so many steps.
Yeah.
And this is where this all or nothing attitude stops us.
So you know that phrase, like, practice makes perfect?
Talk to me.
Yeah. So I don't believe in that. I don't believe in practice makes perfect. I think practice makes progress, right? Like the idea isn't, well, one, perfection doesn't exist. I don't believe. But the idea that you should constantly be striving to be better than you were yesterday, and if you have that, then that's a win, right? Think of a health journey or a weight loss journey, right? Like, you don't get to a certain weight and that's it. You have to continue on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, there's one thing you should say, because
Yeah.
I'm cheeky, and if we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight in public.
Okay.
You mentioned that you don't believe in perfection.
Yeah.
A part of me hears this and says, yes, I agree, because this idea of perfection is stunts growth. But there are areas in life where I think individuals have reached, if we don't want to call it perfection, but almost the summit of certain art. Like, for example, like jazz. I listen to a lot of piano jazz.
Okay.
A lot of jazz, but because I'm a pianist, I am biased. There's this pianist called Keith Jarrett. Keith Jarrett has what one might consider one of the best-selling jazz of all time, which is a concert called the Colton Concert.
Okay.
And this concert, I'm going to say particular, it's one of the few times, like the first time, like in history, where someone comes in a room and improvises for an hour. And he did it in the piano that was not in tune. He almost canceled the performance. And there's a movie about it, by the way. And the promoter, who was 18 at the time, a young lady who loved jazz, wanted to share this, begged him, say, please do it. Begged him.
Yeah.
He almost didn't do it.
Wow.
And this became a career-defining moment. Like, if you hear that performance,
Yeah.
Even the first, it's in 4 pieces. The first time I listened to it, I remember that day. Maiden Voyage, like you've probably heard of.
Let me write this down. So I'm gonna have to Google it later. Maiden Voyage.
Like that's a different one from what's his name? He used to play with Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock.
Okay. Herbie Hancock.
He has this song, a concept album called Maiden Voyage, but the song Maiden Voyage, when you hear it, the mood that it conveys, the interaction with the players, it's near, like you cannot say you would add something or you would track. It's beautifully, it's perfect. So from that perspective,
you as the listener feel it's perfect, but I wonder if they as the
look
artist,
at
you know what I'm
you.
saying, right?
Okay.
They as the artist, they
Okay.
might say, "Oh, actually, it's what they say. You are your biggest critic, right?"
I don't disagree.
Yeah. Even if somebody else thinks it's perfect, right? You're gonna be like, "Oh, I could have did this or that." Michael Jackson was known for that. He did a performance. Gosh, I think it was like Motown 25, something like that. Don't. You could probably Google it and find it. But when he does the moonwalk for the first time or whatnot, and he's like, "Oh, actually, I was supposed to stand on my toes for like 2 seconds longer or whatever." When everyone was like blown away by this thing that he had done, like nobody had ever seen it before.
So when you craft your argument that way, it's hard to argue against that.
Yay, me!
No, it's hard to argue against that. I still believe that some individual
Yeah.
will achieve some level of perfection at some point.
Yeah.
Or in some performance. Some performance are almost like touched or kissed by God at some point. But I do agree.
Yeah.
Many times, I don't think you're fully aware that it's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe what we should replace it by is seamless expression.
Seamless expression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that, actually. I do. So many things to ask you. Okay. Like I said, first part of this, I want to talk more like personal and stuff like that, and then
You're
we'll
smiling.
get into the... Then we're gonna get into
Yes, smiling.
we're gonna get into the business.
Smiling.
So I'm smiling because I gotta ask you, like, you're married, single, dating. What's your story?
So-
I gotta get into like the minutia. I gotta know.
Well, here's the sad part. I think you're gonna be bored.
I'm gonna be bored?
You're gonna be bored
Okay.
because lately, it's not that I don't want to date, but it's
Okay.
hard to fit someone in my life right now. It's really hard because
Say more.
you know,
Say more.
there's things that I sense. And that being said,
Okay.
I think someone can always come and argue with me, and maybe it's a fallacy. Maybe it's a thought that I put in my mind,
Okay.
and that can be challenged. Maybe you are that person. I don't know. I doubt it. But here's my perspective. There's so many things that I think
Yeah.
like are drawn or are expression of my mission that I don't know how to fit some of those things. And those, like for example, when I wake up in the morning, it's somewhere between 4:30 and sometimes 6. Like you have piano, you have like self-care,
Yeah.
and then there's PwC, which I'm a contractor there, and then I have all those other projects that mean so much to me. And maybe there's also a sense of how one navigates what it feels to be their responsibilities, or maybe some spiritual component. I talk a lot about the parable of the talents. We can talk about this parable, but it's this idea that when a mission has been given to you, or you feel that this is something you have to do, if you don't do it, something will happen. Now, that being said, I don't think spirituality has to be about crime and punishment.
Yeah.
We don't need to make it like a Dostoevsky situation, but that's how I see it. Does that need to be exercised by a therapist? Possibly. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of therapy.
Yeah.
Everybody needs
Possibly.
it.
I don't disagree.
Yes.
But in my mind right now,
Yeah.
and it's not like I've not attempted.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some beautiful, lovely ladies out there.
So it sounds like it just doesn't fit right now into
For
your
the
life.
moment,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All
But
right.
but you never know.
You don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
You don't know. I mean, I'm trying to help like my viewers. Like Do you mind if I like put you on the spot like
I
that?
love this. I love this. You know, when you asked, I thought, my God, is that one of those moments where when I was practicing piano, I would start feeling sweat in my finger, but relatively like ease. Thank you for that.
Yes,
yeah,
of course. That's my
That's
goal.
your style.
That's my goal. Yes, I want to make everybody feel comfortable, and I think there's a lot of value in sharing your stories, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a story to share. Everybody wants to be heard, wants to feel valued, and everybody's a book. It's like everyone's a book that you haven't read yet, you know? So it's like, oh.
And hopefully, when they sit here, they are an open book.
Thank you for that. Open book, yes. Well, okay. So not dating anyone right now. Don't really have time for that in your life, but you focus on some other things. Don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
Don't have kids.
Although I do have an amazing... first of all, my niece is graduating this Friday.
Hey!
I'm driving, and my brother lives in North Dakota.
Okay.
And I'm flying there and spending the weekend.
Nice.
And she's planning her graduation. Wonderful.
Yay.
And of course, I have my nephew Zaim, who we talk every day. Mm-hmm. And like I've said, I made this statement before.
Yeah.
But he makes a fantastically better Gerard than I do.
Oh.
Yeah. There's something about this seeing. Have you ever experienced something you've made, or maybe something you cooked? You know what goes into it. You've done it 1,000 times.
Sure.
But then you taste it, and you're still surprised.
Yeah.
That it tastes so good.
Yeah.
There are things that he says, things that he mentions. He's curious about music. He hears music and he plays, and I'm fascinated. And my sister...
Oh, he just plays by ear?
He plays by ear, and he also wants to learn. But I should also say, he does have an unfair advantage.
Okay.
Because my sister reminds me of... what's the name of the... You know the gentleman who does the... What's his name? Like the theory of evolution. Darwin.
Oh, Darwin. Yeah, Darwin.
Something that people don't know about him is, at some point when he left the island of Galapagos and wrote his his opus, he became fascinated by his child and did a lot of experiment on pedagogy, how he would learn, how he would grow. My sister has that same way of looking at children. Right now, she has this amazing lab experiment with many kids, and her focus is Haitian people are amazing at great personality. Sorry, I'm biased.
Why are you
great personality.
Yes.
Like great energy.
Yeah.
We are amazing at memorizing, which helps me a lot with classical music. But something that we've not practiced a lot is initiative and also collaboration. And now she has the group of sometimes 5 to 10 little kids between 4 and 8. Yeah. And it's all about collaboration with them, all about learning with each other. How about having those kids elect a group leader, and then also give feedback whether you're a good leader or not. And having some of the leaders pass the baton to someone else, and have that other person lead the games, everything. So the experiment that she does, and of course there's a focus on Zaim, and it's truly amazing seeing how he's navigating and growing. Unfair advantage.
How old?
Zaim? Zaim is 6 now. 5, 6.
5, 6. Kindergarten? First grade?
Well, that's a good question for Maritza, my sister, because I think he might even, in French, it's sauté. He might even skip a couple of grades.
Oh, okay.
Because he speaks 4 languages.
Oh my God.
And he's learning.
Hold on, we got to stop there. So, what languages does he speak?
He speaks French, English, Spanish, and of course, his first one, which is Haitian Creole.
Okay.
But he's also learning a bunch of different language because my sister allows him to go on YouTube and, like, of course, it's monitored. And he would pick up things from different languages. Like, he would pick up some Mandarin. He would pick up like some German. And I also think he's super competitive because I'm also learning German, like through Duolingo. And maybe he picked it up and he's a type of kid. Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
How many languages do I speak? So there's fluency and there's speaking. So I would say I have an intermediate hold on Spanish.
Okay.
The only reason I don't claim fluency is because I've never lived in an environment where I spent 6 months there. But I speak Haitian Creole.
Sure.
Mother tongue.
Yes.
Fascinating language.
Yeah.
French, some English, one might say.
Yeah.
I'm learning German.
Okay.
It's been like 3 years right now.
3 years you've been working on that?
Yeah, 3 years working
Oh,
on German.
okay. I'm gonna like quiz you and
Please
ask you
do,
something.
please
Okay.
do, please do.
And more languages besides German?
Well, and I have little things that I know in some languages because we live in Minneapolis. I think we should know how to say hi in Somali and how
Okay.
to say hi in some of these languages.
Sure.
Like, it should not be a surprise to a Hmong person that someone says hi in their language. At least hi, thank you, how you doing. You want to say to someone, don't worry,
Yeah.
or no problem.
Sure.
I think these are like specific things you always need to know in different languages.
I love that. Okay, so quiz time then.
Quiz time.
In German, well, no, not in German. In Hmong, right? Because we have a lot of Hmong, a lot of Somali. So in Hmong, say. Oh.
So I would say, I apologize. Hmong, not so good.
Oh, not so good.
So Somali, what can I say in Somali? I can say hi, sita hi. How do you say thank you?
Thank you.
Wamatsunta hi. A lot of their language has like the DNA of what we call Arabic.
Okay.
You know, some of that as well.
Sure.
But I've also noticed a lot of the Somali individuals who live in Minneapolis also, they have a mixture of Swahili. Because in their journey, some of them have lived in Kenya and some of those Central African countries as well.
Sure.
So they will speak a little Swahili as well.
Okay.
So that population, you know what I think is fascinating about the Somali people?
What's that?
In the world, we always think of what are people who smell better, like we're the best perfume. People think of French, Italian.
Yeah.
They've not seen the Somali people. The Somali people, even at the gym, it's like, well, I'm trying to work out, but I need to know what this guy's wearing.
Yeah.
Like,
It
they
smells
smell
good.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
And it's a cultural thing. Like, they smell amazing. I've never met a Somali person and not want to say, okay, first of all, man, you smell great. Second, do you mind sharing what you're like so I can invite myself? So that might be I don't know if that's a cultural trait or a personal decision, but it seems to be across that culture.
Yeah, I would. Okay, I've never noticed that, but I'm gonna like pay more attention now too.
Do it.
Okay, so I want you before we take our first break here, or before we take a break here, I want you to say in German, since you're working on it.
Okay, let's do this.
For the last 3 years, I want you to say hello. How are you?
Okay,
and we'll be back in just a bit.
Back. Okay, how do we say we will be back? How do you say will? I can say we are coming back. Fear. Is it überkommen? Wie?
I don't know.
Okay, we will. Okay, if I say feel, it means it's like I want. Okay, how about? I know coming back is überkommen. Überkommen. Kommen is like to come.
Okay.
So there's that. We is fear.
Okay.
Okay. So how about we want to come back?
Oh,
Fear
that works.
fallen, we want to.
Yeah.
Überkommen.
Okay, so
I
say it
think
into the
so.
camera right here.
Okay.
Your camera. Go ahead.
So now, jetzt, wir wollen überkommen.
Fantastic. All right. Well, what he said was, we'll be back in just a bit. Stay with us. Well, hey, everybody. Nyia Harris here. I am today's sponsor. I'm sponsoring myself, Nyia Harris LLC for Open Book. What is Nyia Harris LLC? Well, it's a professional speaking engagement business. I focus on hosting, moderating, emceeing, and facilitating. If you're looking for the next great person for your event, look for me, Nyia Harris. You can check me out on my website, NyiaHarrisLLC.com. Thanks. So tell me about the name of your business.
So right now, I have a startup. It's called Wake.
Wake.
And
W-A-I-K. Wake.
You did your homework. Look at you.
I told you I was like
You
doing a
did.
deep dive.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And the problem that we're solving is incident response in retirement homes. Right now, the way it looks like when something happens, for example, when a nurse sees, finds a resident on the floor, of course the nurse helps, but reporting the incident and how they report it can inform how the incident won't repeat in the past, in the future, or what we can do, like the type of interventions, how we can prevent this.
Yeah.
But what happens is that nurse, the staff, has 20 other rooms to check. And most likely, it's at the end of the shift that they get into the computer, they check boxes, not a narrative, but then it's at the end of the shift.
Yeah.
You spent 8 hours and sometimes 12.
Right.
You want to go home.
Right.
So you know how to do the minimum to give something and go home.
Yes.
And what we're changing is at the point of scene or whenever it is convenient, you can narrate the incident. Instead of thinking, okay, what happened? You can just say, okay, grab your phone. There is a form, you click, what happened? I saw Gerard on the floor. Gerard seemed to have slipped around 6:45. He mentioned that he was hurting on the left, checked his head. There's no visible injury there. What did I do? I called the physical therapist just to make sure there's anything else. We called the family just to make sure that they're aware of it.
Yeah.
And this is what I think happened. Gerard mentioned that last night was Tacos Tuesday, so he had a World War III in his belly. And of course, we take this and we have an agent, a series of agents that take this, and we keep a copy of the narration, but for clinical purposes, we're not going to say Gerard has World War III in his belly.
No,
but there will be other expressions. We have an agent that replaces that with clinical terms.
Okay.
That way, eventually, this becomes a report.
Okay.
But where I think we have an amazing moat, and this is thanks to my co-founder Scott, who I think a SWAT team for retirement homes is one of those individuals that they call whenever a retirement home has operational issues, they want to fix something. He found out that most of the incident responses, they miss some aspects of what is needed to truly create an intervention.
Okay.
So he calls it the golden standards. So we take this narrative and we check it through AI with the golden standards, and the agent figures out, okay, these are all the gaps. And the agent comes up with 30 more questions. But then we have another agent that's smart and says, okay, you have 30 more questions, but no one has time. As they say, no one got time for this. So it takes those 30 questions and reformulates them into 8 to 10, 12 questions that the individual, the staff reporting the incident, can at their convenience, whether walking through the halls or sitting down, can just grab their phone, text, or insert it. So this triggers the first phase of the incident response. Then after that, you have the director of nursing doing a formal investigation. So really, we're automizing and creating ease around this process.
Okay, that's awesome. What would you say your greatest need is when it comes to your business?
Wow, what is the greatest need?
Yeah.
So there is an emotional need, and there's also a number-based needs.
Okay.
So let's talk about the number-based needs.
Yeah.
Wake at first started as a bedside companion.
Okay.
What I wanted to create was a bedside companion that remembers who you were as a conversation. That, for example, with AI or Alexa, you have to say, "Hey Alexa" or something, talk to it. But I figured out that an AI that mimics reality mimics someone who just says, "Hey, I was thinking about you. How's everything going? The last conversation that we had.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this."
Right.
So I was building something like this. Retirement homes directors, they loved it, but they didn't want to pay for it. So at some point, I was irate and I thought, okay, you love the idea. What are you going to pay for? Like, compliance, lawsuits, anything that's going to help me prove to the state that I'm actually doing my work. So I repurposed that technology of voice into incident response.
Okay.
So this is leading to the answer to your question. Directors of nursing, they need to make sure that they have all the details they need, especially if they have to answer to the states, especially if there are some audits. All of those information need to come in a way that is truthful, but also in a way that the state, whoever auditor, can ingest it. Now the second is really the staff. Right now, because this environment is so lawsuit driven and there's so much compliance, instead of being giver of care, they've become like wardens of compliance.
Okay.
Because that's what they're asked to do. So that those 2 hours they spend just on filling forms could be spent connecting with individuals, asking questions. Like you have this Julie who's 78 years old who who's not easy, when really no one is talking to Julie. Not because they don't want to talk to Julie, because they don't have the time.
Right.
So what we want to do, imagine if that 2 hour incident response instead becomes 10 minutes, and that that time remaining becomes more connection, like a lingering eye contact, a smile, like a touch. This does so much for those individuals in retirement homes.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, like, you've survived 70, 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have like some fun in that other part of your life. And that's one of my vision for this era.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if when you're getting to your retirement homes, it's not like a doorway to Valhalla or you're just waiting to die. It's a new phase. It's like, I once said it to a friend, and and it was interesting how they reacted. When I went to college, what was interesting about my experience is it was the dread of, oh my God, like when you're like on campus, you don't know who you're gonna meet, but you're so excited. But you have advisors to help you go through those situations.
Yeah.
Imagine if people in retirement homes at 75, they go into retirement homes and they realize all those things I never got to do. This is the time. Or all those cultural connections. Imagine if someone who lives in all the way like northern Minnesota, who's never really interacted with a Haitian person or Somali person, gets to a retirement home and they're playing cards now with someone they can barely understand, but they're arguing, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
They can take those piano classes. And maybe instead of Taco Tuesday, we can have Haitian compa night. So my vision is, let's give time to those individuals. Let's give time to the nurses. That way they can plan like more events, more fun.
Sure.
Like a renewal for those individuals.
I mean, they say time is the greatest resource right now, right?
I approve this message.
Yeah.
It is.
You approve this message?
Yeah, I approve this message.
Yeah.
It's real.
I'm just thinking about what you're saying because, like, there's a lot of loneliness that exists in retirement homes, right? And so when you say, oh, to like lingering eye contact, a touch, a smile, you know, like that really does, like, I mean, that can change somebody's whole day, you know, and what it might do for like the loneliness epidemic, right, that we have, that just that simple interaction, right, not feeling so alone and things like that. So anyhow, yeah.
You know, Nyia, it's real. I think as humans, I don't know, somewhere along the line, we've learned to bypass or not consider those simple aspects that mean so much. Things that were done by the community. Now that we live in the cities and we don't always know our neighbors,
right,
and all those things, a touch of humanity can go a long way.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, when you walk down the street, do you smile or wave at a stranger?
And I do, but that's also cultural.
Okay.
And this is a part of me that's not left Haiti, because when you're walking to Haiti, like when you're walking in Haiti, you don't know people, but you always have a sense that you know someone that I know. You always have this, that we're all interconnected in some way.
Sure.
So here, when I see individuals, and there's a compromise. You have the Midwest nod thing that people do. You know, sometimes it's pronounced, and sometimes we also have, I don't know if you have that with ladies, but as gentlemen, sometimes you have a bro thing.
The what's up nod.
Like what's up nod. Or if someone looks good, like, bro, you look great. You know, it's things like that.
Sure.
But that's an extent of my Haitian culture. Like, we acknowledge people.
Yeah. We could definitely use that, I think. We could use a dose of that humanity and just interacting with each other. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we're in Minnesota, right? And it's kind of, I'll say regional too, because most of my friends are transplants from here in the Midwest. And it's interesting. It's just interesting how people interact with one another. And I oftentimes am told that people don't think that I'm from here. Not because, you know, but because of how I act, like, because I'm super friendly and
well, there's an ebullience with you that is definitely not Nordic. One might say. Okay. Although, yes, I'm sure the Nordic people, the people of Scandinavian descent, I'm sure they have their version of Nyia as well. But I can see how the Midwest, and part of it is real. I do think that most people here, you'll always hear that they're kind and lovely and nice, but having people come into your life, that's a different decision. Yeah. Like, for example, saying, hey, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend. It's very different than, hey, let's go talk.
Yep. Or let's grab a coffee,
Let's
or
grab
let's
a
grab a
coffee.
lunch,
Exactly.
or
Exactly.
let's go for a walk. Yeah. Because then you're taking up time, right?
Yes, and time is
time is the biggest resource.
Time is your resource.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
But interestingly, this reminds me of like Scott Karlstrom, who like with Wake, how we met and became friends is, I was looking for potential people to validate my idea, and we went on a walk, and that walk was like 2 hours around Lake of the Owls.
Wow.
And it was a fantastic walk, just talking about retirement homes, his vision.
Yeah.
Great individual.
Yeah. I mean, I bet you learned a lot in that 2 hours, right? Yeah.
And continue to learn.
Yes, absolutely. That's been my go-to thing for this year, by the way. Is instead of like going for coffee or going for lunch when I
Walk
meet
and
someone,
talks.
walk and talks.
Walk and talks.
Yeah.
And I do walk and talk tech.
Walk and talk tech.
Yes. Like for example, like tonight at Wild AI, my friend Yaniv is going to present this new technology by OpenAI called GPT Real-Time 2, which is like a game changer when it comes to ambient noise, being able to recognize specific voices. And just yesterday, we had a walk and talk tech around Loring Park, just talking about technology.
Yeah.
But then gotta take my steps.
Yeah, you get your exercise
Get my
in,
exercises.
and isn't there something? There's like some science behind like when you're processing while you're walking, right? As opposed to just sitting down and like having a conversation. If you're walking, like I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but like the neurons and stuff like that.
There must be something to it,
Yeah.
because I remember last year I had a stint at Microsoft like 6 months, and then I had 2 weeks between the next contract, and I remember thinking, man, I was getting all those ideas about Wake, and those 2 weeks felt like, this Michelangelo painting when you have God doing this and touching them.
Yeah.
I felt those 2 weeks were almost that, because it was in early July, but it didn't feel like summer because it was breezy, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I would go on walks every single day, and I would record myself talking about Wake, about everything, about what I wanted to do with AI, about agentic AI, and just hear myself talking, and then ideas would come. And I remember having days where I had like 20,000 steps, but it was an amazing process.
Yeah.
And just the walking and talking, and there was an aspect that felt very spiritual as well.
I bet.
It felt very connected to something that you might call God, something you might call your higher self. I look at those 2 weeks as a clear moment where inspiration was in the house.
I love that. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit because I gotta get into this. I gotta ask you your thoughts.
Gotta get into this.
I gotta get into this about AI. Okay, because that's the field that you're in, right?
I don't know if I want to say that anymore.
No, because there's like some fear around AI and like, I don't know, essentially like AI is going to kill us, that type of thing, right? Because like you can make it so powerful that like it doesn't need a human anymore. Do you get what I'm getting at?
Yes.
And so there's been a lot of talk about that.
I don't disagree. First of all,
Uh-oh.
I don't disagree with the
fear. Yeah.
The fear.
Okay.
The fear. Not Skynet.
Okay. Yes, I was like Terminator. Yeah.
But I think with AI, there are different fears that one can sit and address. And of course, I am but me. There's the fear that AI is taking over jobs.
Right.
Which, in some way,
it is.
It's hard to say no, it's not. That's all I can say. Of course, there's the fear of AI becoming so intelligent that it does certain things. Now, if we want to address the second one, what I can say is it's all about the guardrails you put into AI. Like for example, with at PwC right now, what I'm seeing is it's an organization that there's a lot of people depend on it, like whether it's taxes, retirement homes, not retirement, 401ks, investments, people buying companies, merger acquisition. So this company looks at AI and says, here's something we can do with it. Like when we do due diligence, for example, and we have to sift through 5,000 documents to understand this company that we're trying to buy, how can we make it faster so that the individual, the analyst who's doing this, the associate, doesn't have to leave at 11 p.m. can we use AI there to at least cut that time in half?
Sure.
We're still going to need some decisions require this amazing human lens. Some things cannot be sniffed by AI. Some things, like what we call that gut reaction, comes from a mixture of inspiration, experience, and then like distilled into that one moment.
Yeah. Yep.
Like whether it's Ira Tiger or something else.
Intuition.
Yeah. So AI is being used to reduce that time, and I appreciate this because there are times where I admit, and this is maybe why it's hard to fit someone into my life.
Yeah.
I will admit sometimes I'm working till 10, 11, not because I will lose my job if I don't, but some problems are so interesting that they captivate you. But if you can use AI to give you a different lens, to give you a different perspective, you might find that the pathway to it is faster. So I won't need to work all the way till 9 p.m. Maybe I can work till 6, and then from 6 to
11.
8.
Yeah. Let's give them. Yeah. We'll give them a break.
Okay. How about we do this?
What do you want to leave the people with? That's what I want to know. What do you want to leave the people with? Because we learned a lot about you today. And like I said a moment ago, right, or a little bit ago, about how everybody has a story in them, right? Everyone is a book that you haven't read yet. So what do you want people to know about you?
What I want them to know about me?
Yeah.
In 2018 or 19, I decided to become a better brother and son. I think I spent most of my life being a great elder, like perfect. But then at some point I realized my brother and my sister, they were actually looking for a friend. So if I want to leave, what I want to leave individuals or listeners with is that whoever I appear to be is really held in the eyes and the love of my brother and my sister. Because they keep me grounded in reality. And through them, I know the love that doesn't require anything in payback. I know that through them.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Okay. I love that.
So those two, I don't want to, and that's the thing. Life sometimes has a funny way when you say, I am this, and then the next day you have to prove that. But I really feel that I'm 40, and there's so much more to live. But I really feel that my sister, there's so much she can give that I cannot give. My brother, he does so much in his world. Like my brother, for example, he mentors individuals who goes into the oil field. Like he's a superintendent. Some of those individuals are felons. He has conversations with them to say, hey, this is a moment where you can turn around. I would give my life for them. No joke.
I feel like there's so much more to learn about you, and I just appreciate you taking time and being here with me today. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And maybe we'll get a walk and talk in. Not about the tech, but just the walk and talk part. Yeah. And hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. And next week's guest, let me tell you who's coming up for next week. Actually, there isn't a guest because it's a holiday. It is Memorial Day, so we're gonna take a look.
That was so awesome. No one can come.
Nobody can come after you, Gerard. So we're gonna take a little break. We'll have Memorial Day, but then June 1st, we'll have Christy Thompson will be my guest, and I'm looking forward to that conversation. So follow, subscribe, enjoy this show, share with friends. Open Book with Nyia Harris. So delighted that you're with me today. Have a great day, everybody.